It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today I'm going to be covering the Super Mayhem Paladin's Oath setup. I will be covering some more stuff like Crunchy Chip Cookie and other things today, but as I can get through them because there's quite a lot to cover today, as you may already see. So we're going to start out with this, and that's because the three teams that I have designed are doing pretty good. They're running through the Mayhem mode without too much issues, and they don't interfere with any of the other comp setups, since a lot of the setups in the PvP arena kind of mishmash similar cookies, where in Mayhem you can only use a cookie in one team. So the first team I'm running is a T-Knight team: Frost Queen, Sea Fairy, Cloud of Cream, Dark Cacao, and T-Knight with Scroll, Insignia, and the Feather. Just pushing through the majority of starting teams. The only time I will swap order is if there's a sorbet team or a specifically tank killing team in the front. That's about the only time I'm really going to be switching, because this team usually can handle the first wave without too many problems. The second team is going to be this one with Herb, Pomegranate, Eclair, Caramel Arrow, and Wildberry. And as you can see, Eclair is level 70 here. That is because I did 3 cookies for Guild Battle increasing, which was Eclair, Poison Mushroom, and Cotton. So those are the 3 that I have leveled up to start. And this team is mostly focused on speed and fast annihilation. It's going to do good against your traditional teams that are not equally as fast or that do not have insignias. They're not T-Knight teams. This should do well for a lot of those teams as well. And then last but not least, we're running the Summoner team. And so this is going to be Cotton, Crunchy Chip, Pumpkin Pie, Snow Queen, and Pure Vanilla. And that's because our healers are divided up so much. I was considering running Parfait, but we're going to try Pure Vanilla for now, because here's the main thing. Dark Cacao is either going to be in the first or second team lineup, and so for that reason, we shouldn't have a shield counter person in the third team lineup. It's going to be very rare, so for that reason, we're actually getting more heals and shields with Pure Vanilla for that reason. Now, we might swap back between Parfait, we'll test it out, but I found that this has been working because we have a chance to have shields again, so that we don't have to worry about losing them to Dark Cacao. Because that was the reason that Pure Vanilla wasn't working in PvP, was because Dark Cacao was there to basically invalidate Pure Vanilla completely. So let's go ahead and run through some people and see what we get. So here I am going to swap teams to the second team because Sorbet and Pumpkin Pie are there. That means that is a tank killer for the first team. So we are going to swap to our speed team instead for this battle. And I will slow it down from the 2.5 just to show you what's going on. And we'll speed it up to the 2.5 afterwards. So as you can see, just speed damage output, not a huge amount of worry. Now we have our T-Knight team that's going to take care of the second wave, and we won't have to worry about our third team. And of course, this is, as always, carried by T-Knight in most cases. So Wildberry Cacao is a good double defense, so they did end up actually taking that one. But as you can see, our Summoner team here is being beat out by a speed team. But the Wolf and Pumpkin Pie's Pom Pom, they both survived quite a long time. So just to give you the stats of what happened here. So the first team did really well. So their second team was a partial scam speed team counter, so that's why they were able to push through the Summoner team. So that's a really good lineup. And then they had the double tank set up for the mid team, which was actually a pretty decent counter for T-Knight. So if we had set this up better, which we should have, we would have put the Summoner team in the second slot and ran the T-Knight team in the third slot. So that way we've had the best chances to take out their entire lineup. So that's okay. It's good to show you guys what to expect and what's coming. So let's move to the next opponent. So similar setup here. They've got Scam team in second place, so that's perfect for our T-Knight team. Their third team is a T-Knight team, but honestly we shouldn't get to it because our speed team should be able to take out their front. They do have 5 level 70s here with Sorbet, Pumpkin Pie, Cotton, Parfait, and Herb. And so let's see if our speed team can outmatch their level 70 team. This is a really good test right here and can kind of show you the level of power increase and what to expect. So we do get the good start. And thankfully, because what we have is a good counter against their main team, even though they have completely level 70s, we completely destroyed their team altogether. Now our T-Knight team doing what it does best against scam teams, and we took that win. So as you can see, level 70s, they're strong. They're very strong. They did some really hefty damage, but we had a good counter setup against that team. And so that's what you're really going to be building in this Mayhem mode, is try and think of countering every single team if possible. Because if you can, then don't worry too terribly much about the levels, because then you're going to be able to run through because you have the counter setups. And you get to see everything that's happening. So, for instance here, T-Knight team in the first, kind of speed scam team in the second, Summoner team in the third. They do have level 70s on all of their cookies, so they are going to be a very tough opponent because we do not have it at that level yet. So let's look at their first team and see if we can take that down. So they have a T-Knight setup, partial speed setup, but then they have their scam team in the second. I'm actually going to go ahead and change team orders here. We're going to battle our T-Knight team versus theirs, and we're going to take our speed team versus theirs. We'll see what comes out on top. Remember, they have all level 70 cookies right here. And so, decent start. They've got a good front line. It's going to be all up to our T-Knight to even take it. Okay, we could not push through their level 70s. Let's see if our speed team can handle. And it cannot. So, here you can see the discrepancy in powers. The level 70s are going to definitely be making a huge difference here. The overall scale of damage that they can even get to is a little faster, a little stronger than what we've got going on. So definitely be prepared for this type of setup, because as the dust settles, these people will be in higher ranks. You won't have to worry about them as much. But at the initial point, you're going to be fighting some full level 70 teams from people that have just been saving EXP for the longest of times. I'd love to hear your feedback. Who have you leveled up so far? What modes are you exploring? I'd love to just see it all. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a wonderful morning.